Okay, everybody, good evening. Welcome to Wednesday, September 2nd, Team Next Generation call. Thank you all for being here. I really appreciate you guys taking the time out of your night or out of your day, depending on when you're watching this. So thank you very much. So we've got a lot to kind of unpack today. I'm going to give you guys a few things that we took away. When Deanna and I went on the leadership retreat, it was absolutely insane. Getting some time to kind of throw questions at Autumn about just the 21-day fix specifically was amazing. I mean, just getting to pick her brain and kind of figure out why she created the program, how she did, how she responds to people. There are a handful of videos that we got that I think I want to upload to the I'm going to upload them to YouTube and then hide them and put them in the Team Next Generation page because they're videos that I think you all should watch. But I think we can implement them into our challenge groups as well. I know Deanna and I have been using little nuggets from them every morning in our challenge groups, and it's been really effective. We've got a lot of good feedback on them. And now we're going to actually start posting, here's what's going on, this is what Autumn said, and then the actual video of her saying it, right? Sometimes it's easier for actually us to give other people, like if we're playing that good cop, bad cop, and we're the bad cop, it's sometimes a little bit easier for us to actually have somebody else be the bad cop. Let her give the tough love. And if it's coming from her, it's like, oh, okay, it's a little bit easier than just hearing us say it all the time. So we'll do that. But otherwise, then listening to some of the top coaches and leaders in the company speak about things is just like, it was so eye-opening, absolutely eye-opening. So just to kind of dive right into, there's so many takeaways, guys. Like legitimately, I've got page after page like this of stuff that they were talking about, and I'm really just trying to hit on a few of them, but some very important ones. So first of all, one of the things that Mike was speaking about was the vital behaviors, right? I mean, they were all talking about the vital behaviors, but one of the takeaways I got was, the vital behaviors are like a password to a computer. Okay, if you're missing one part of that password, you're not getting in. And the vital behaviors are exactly the same way. If you're missing one of those vital behaviors, you're not getting in, okay? This is not a complicated business. It's not always easy, but it's very simple as long as we allow it to be simple, right? And so if we follow those vital behaviors every single day, you hear us preach about them all the time. You hear us talk about it all the time. Because they're the most important thing we can tell you. You cannot succeed doing anything else if you're not doing those. I don't care what you're doing otherwise. If you're not doing the 3 vital behaviors, if you're not inviting people, right? If you're not adding friends, if you're not doing personal development, if you're not reaching, if you're not doing these things, you're not going to succeed, period. Like it's legitimately that simple. So that was one of the things that they hit on, again, that I've heard a million times, and I still hear it every time I go to any sort of leadership, retreat or anything like that, summit, all of that stuff. Another thing that they were talking about was kind of creating a feeling of who you are on social media. We're all coaches, and before we were coaches, we identified ourselves as something else. Now we're identifying ourselves as something else plus a coach. So on social media, we need to show who we are as people. Like legitimately give a feeling of who you are, give an insight into your life. Like, so people you're building that relatability, right? With other people, you're letting them kind of in so that they don't want to see that you're just a coach, right? Like we want you to post all day long. And that's something that, to be very honest, that I'm working on, like I myself am working on trying to be more consistent with my posting. With that said, the things that we need to post, I really it's extremely important that they're not just, I'm doing a challenge group, join me. Man, I'm Beachbody coaching, Shakeology, 21-day fix, 21, you know what I mean? Like of course that needs to be sprinkled in there, but that's not only who you are, right? You're not just a Beachbody program. You're also a person that has things that you love, hobbies, a family, a job, like all these other aspects. You're multifaceted. You're not just one thing. So show everybody what you are as a human, not just as a coach, right? Definitely bring the coaching aspect into it because it's part of you. But like I said, it's only part of you. So try to be consistent. Do that every day, 3 times a day at minimum. And give, and then maybe once a week, sprinkle it with a little bit of, Beachbody. And when you sprinkle it, yeah, John is referring, she does this. She's referring to the jab, right hook. There's a great book out there. If you guys haven't read it, I actually haven't read it and I want to read it, but everybody talks about how amazing it is. And basically what it is it talks about the idea that you're kind of like, you're throwing out all these little jabs with your daily posts. And then all of a sudden you come out once a week or whatever that is with that hook about this is the business, right? This is my action step. I'm calling you to action. I'm bringing you in. Join me in a challenge group, da 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 da. But before that, it's based on, a little bit of sprinkle of information here, sprinkle of information there, sprinkle of information there, mixed in with the this is who I am, this is who I am, this is who I am. And then every once in a while, hey, I'm doing a challenge group, 21-day fix. I'd love to have some people join me. But that's not every day. That's like once every, week or every few, every couple weeks or whatever that is, right? So that was a big reminder for me that I've heard it 100 times, but it's just as equally important now as it will ever be. One idea, one thing that I really want to get across, and this is going to sound ridiculous, not ridiculous, but it's very true. I want you to remember, like I said, this business is not complicated. However, it's not always easy. There's going to be times where it gets very frustrating, right? And that's everybody. That's everything. It frustrates Deanna and myself. It frustrates Jessica. It frustrates, at some point, every single coach I've ever spoken to, right? The thing is, you cannot quit. You just got to be here next year. Be at this place next year, and you will succeed. And what that takes is commitment and following through, continuing on, right? What they said was, and there's a few things that are more true than this. It's not what you can or can't do. It's what you will or will not do, period. Now that goes to everything. Hey, I can't find time to work out. Really? You can't find time to work out? No, you won't find time to work out. And that's okay. That's your decision. Just understand that it's not because you couldn't, it's because you wouldn't, right? I can't find time to spend 30 minutes, inviting people. That means you won't spend time. It's not that you can't. We all can. If I have a challenger, Deanna, can back this up. If we have a challenger in our group that had 9 kids, was pregnant with her 9th or whatever, worked 3 jobs, babe? 3 or 4? 3 jobs? How many jobs did she? No. She had more than one. Well, either way, had multiple jobs. She had more than one job because I was like, you've got to be kidding me. More than one job, and all these kids to take care of, right? And she was still wanting to work at coaching. If she can find time while she's working out and all that stuff too, I've got one job, dude, besides coaching. And we've got 2 kids that basically take care of themselves. Right? Like, everybody can find time, right? It's just a matter of if you want it bad enough. So with that said, actually, I'm going to jump forward. This is the perfect time to talk about that. With that said, one of the things that one of the action steps that I wanted you guys to talk to you about was well, we'll talk about that in a second. But you need to figure out like your why, right? We always speak to challengers about what's your why, like why are you doing this, right? Because it's important. It's the most motivational factor that or piece that we have to kind of continue us moving forward. But we need to figure out, your why. I'm going to be asking everybody at the end of this that said that they were in. Anybody that's serious about this, I'm going to be asking them to post a video about that. But one of the ways to break this down is legitimately, I want you to think about why are you here? Why did you choose Beachbody? Why did you choose, to coach? But not just why, like why isn't just a reason necessarily or a destination. It's like a pathway. It's like, when you get to those goals, for instance, what I want you to think about is when you get to, for Deanna and myself, we started coaching because we saw it as an opportunity. Our desire at the end of this is to have something that we can legitimately work anywhere in the world with, that we can quit our jobs, that we can do this full time, and that we can make enough money to have freedom of time, freedom of location, freedom to do essentially whatever we want to do while we do something that we love and are passionate about, right? That's why we're doing it, but more importantly, it's what that creates. Why is because we want to be able, why is because we want to create something that actually can afford us these luxuries, right? But truly the feeling we get from that, right, is the feeling of, I don't have to worry about being able to afford this. I don't have to worry about when we're going to be able to see the kids and hang out with family time and take vacations. I don't have to. That's how it feels, right? I don't have to worry about taxes or whatever it may be, any sort of debt. I don't have to worry about any of that stuff. That's the feeling that it creates. And when we achieve those goals, that's what it's going to feel like. And that's what I want you to focus on. That's what the whole idea of the why is. It's not just, well, I did it because it sounded like a good idea. It's, what do you want to get out of this? Like, how does that feel when you arrive at that destination? This is also a great question to ask your challengers, people that are trying to make any difference in their lives, one great thing is just say, well, okay, why do you want to lose 20 pounds? Why do you want to gain 10 pounds of muscle? Why do you want to, what is this why? Well, I want to because, I want to spend more time with my kids and I want to be more active. I want to get back to my high school weight. I want to feel healthier, whatever it is, right? And then, okay, great. Now, when you get there, when you achieve that, when you're at that end result, right? When you achieve those goals, what does it feel like? What does your life feel like then? Well, it feels like I've got more time to spend with my kids and I love that and it's happy and it feels like I feel more, more secure and more confident. And I feel, like I'm happy to take photos of myself and I'm happy to look in the mirror and, all these things, right? Those are those little tools that we're going to use to really push somebody forward. And when they're at that point where they're just like, oh my gosh, I'm just over it. It's way too difficult. It's not just, well, you said you want to do this for your kids. It's you said you want to do this because you want to be active for your kids. Remember how you said it was going to feel when your kids were able to take you out and you go do stuff with you and they were telling you how much fun it was because you got to be active with them and go experience life with them. Like that is where that comes from, right? So that was one of the things that they brought up that I was like, okay, that's really important. And then I know a lot of us struggle with the idea of talking to people about coaching, of talking to people about the opportunity or the business aspect of this. And one of the things and it's funny because I was actually so we had roommates and one of my roommate was a guy named Eric, really great guy, big fan. And I was actually telling Eric this the night before they were talking about it, before they brought it up. One of the things that I personally love about Beachbody, about this coaching opportunity is we have the ability to change every vital aspect of somebody's life. Legitimately. We have the ability to change their fitness, their health, their finance, their relationship with others, right? Through personal development. Like we legitimately have a way of touching things. A doctor can touch your health. A personal trainer can touch your fitness and your nutrition, right? But none of them, even if they're touching your happiness, they can't touch your financial freedom. You know what I mean? Like we have the ability to substantially change people's lives. And that's how we need to view it. When we're offering that to somebody, that's when I offer it to somebody, when I'm telling somebody like Panit and Vanessa, when I was telling you about this, the opportunity, Jessica, the same way, I was telling you guys because I can see how amazing this is not something that, it's not just a coaching thing. It truly is an opportunity. Like it's an opportunity to change your life in every way, shape, or form. And if we approach it from that standpoint, we should be thrilled to tell somebody about it. We should be excited to tell somebody about it because we know like you might not understand what I've got to offer right now or what I'm giving you right now, but you should be thankful that I'm talking to you about this right now because this is able to change your life in a way that no other job or most other jobs can't. So that was one of the things that they hit on again about, like the coaching opportunity. It truly is. It's about fitness, finance, and food. You know what I mean? We control and we can change those major aspects of somebody's life. We can control and change their fitness, their food, which equals their health, and their finance. And that is an amazing opportunity for us and for them. So let me make sure I didn't miss anything here on anything else I wanted to hit on. Okay. So here are a couple action steps, a few action steps that you guys can legitimately take right now and start putting, working them into your business. So one of the things they spoke about was bringing out people's whys. Again, like I just talked on it a second ago, but we really, truly need, when we are talking to somebody about changing their lives from nutrition and fitness, if we're not focusing on their why, if we're not focusing on them, we're not focusing on anything. Like it's pointless. We might as well not even talk to them at all, right? Because that's what this is all about. All of this is about helping people. And if we're focused on ourselves and not them, then we're going to miss the boat, right? So how do we bring up people's whys? Well, we've got to ask questions. Said it 100 times and I'll say it 1,000 more. Ask questions. If you're in a conversation and you're the one talking, you're losing, okay? You're not asking enough questions. If people aren't telling you stuff, it's because you haven't asked a question to pull it out of them. So start asking why they're doing it, what their goals are, what they need to change, what they struggle with. All these things, they are vital for us to know, to not just help them choose the correct program or to choose the appropriate, to help them work with their nutrition, but so that we can truly help them reach their goals. If we don't ask a question, we don't know their goals. If we don't know their goals, we've got nothing to work with. We're just telling them what we like and what we want. Now it's focused on us and not them. So what they're saying is, don't listen waiting to reply. Listen wanting to learn. Okay, if that is think about that for a second, because I know that that's something I struggled with a lot. I'll ask a question, waiting to reply to that. Oh my gosh, you're telling me something now. I can't wait till I can interject what my thought on it. That's not it. We've really got to ask a question with the true intent that I'm listening to learn about. Okay, she's telling me this, but why is she telling me this? What do I need to gain from this? What information do I grasp from this? As a stylist, I do this at salon, but I don't think to do this in the rest of my life, right? If I ask somebody what they want for a haircut or whatever, I've got a lot of questions that I ask them, that I go through, because I need to learn what they like, what they don't like, what they're doing with their hair, what their problems are, what they've had. And I know I need to know all this stuff, and I'm great about it. But if we're not focused on it, we need to, that took a long time to learn, So we need to relearn this for the fitness category as well. It's the same thing, or in life in general, when just talking to somebody. Especially goes for the coaching opportunity as well. The key is we need to be more interested. What do they say? Is it more interested than interesting? So we need to spend time being more interested in other people than trying to be interesting ourselves, right? They don't really, it's not that they don't care about us, but you need to pretend they don't care about me. Now let me focus on them, right? So really try to dig deep and pull that why out. If you haven't seen the video that Deanna just posted on the Team Next Generation page, please go watch it. It is absolutely amazing. It's the Simon, how do you pronounce his last name? Simon Sinek? Simon Sinek. One of those two, whatever. Okay, it's about the why, and it's about how to kind of pull that out of people and why it's so important, and how to structure your conversations, and the way you address things, like the way you deliver opportunities to people. It's the reason why he was saying that Apple is so successful, and when he explains it, it makes perfect sense. So definitely watch that. It's an absolute non-negotiable. The next action step that we got, actually walking out to Mike's car that he didn't share with everybody, but he shared with us. And I thought this was really awesome. Film videos to leads. Okay, so when you guys start getting free leads, take 40 seconds. Don't even send them an email. Film a video. Hey, so-and-so, when you signed up with Team Beachbody, you actually were assigned a coach. That's, myself. But as a coach, what I do is I'm here to answer any questions you have and help to try to, get you to reach your goals. It's totally free. I don't charge anything. I was just a customer like you, and I feel passionate about the programs. I've gotten amazing results from them. I've used a lot of them, and I'm really excited to help you reach your goals. So I can't wait to learn more about you. Please go ahead and reach out to me, shoot me back a response. Let me know what's going on and what you're struggling with right now and what I can help you with. Great. I look forward to hearing more about you, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye. Something like that, right? Just throw that kind of stuff out there. Just send them videos because it's personal. Like Deanna was actually saying just today, she sent some voice messages to people and she got responses like, oh, I feel so special. Thank you. Because there's something that's just more, it's less generic than just an email or, words on a screen, right? So shoot him a quick video. He said people on his team are getting really, really, really good results with that. So I say, absolutely give it a shot. The other thing that isn't necessarily an action step, but it is, but I wanted to talk to you guys about it. Posturing. Give me a thumbs up if you know what posturing is. Does anybody here know what posturing is? Okay. Posturing is the way you speak to people. So for instance, a lot of people are going to get objections. We all get objections, right? But what we don't realize is that the majority of the time, 9 out of 10 times, those objections come from the way we are postured about what we're delivering, the message, what we're asking from people. Let me give you, for instance, you will absolutely, most likely, if you haven't, probably hear a question of how much is Shakeology, right? Everybody wants to know, what is the challenge pack? How much does it cost? And a lot of us get objections. Oh, well, Shakeology is expensive, right? What we need to focus on is why we get those. And what we'll find is that most often it's because the way we're delivering the information. How much is Shakeology? Shakeology, it's $130. Okay, that's one saying. That's one way of approaching it. Another way is, how much is Shakeology? Shakeology? Oh my gosh, it's only well, it depends. I can hook you up with the same discount I get, and that's something like $3.80 a meal. It's nothing, right? That is a totally different approach than the body language of, well, it's $130. If you're already in your mind thinking that somebody else is going to think it's expensive, they're going to object that it's expensive, because what you don't recognize is that you're putting that out there on them. you're putting that energy to them. And I use energy, the word energy, but realistically it is. It's the way that you're explaining it. You don't recognize the little nuances in the way the verbiage you use will change their reaction to that. So it's kind of like that posturing comes from the belief, right? So it's kind of like the coaching thing. If I truly believe that coaching is an amazing opportunity, when I talk to you about it, I'm not coming from a place of concern. My thought of if you tell me no is just like, I don't care, because it's amazing and I'm giving it to you, and this is an amazing experience that you should be taking part in. You're fortunate that I'm even here, right? So it really it comes from our own belief. You know, if I asked you right now, what do you think? I mean, how do you truly think about Shakeology? We all at one point probably thought, oh, it's kind of expensive, but we found at this point that there's a strong reason behind it, and that to us, we don't care. The expense is irrelevant to us because we have a strong belief in its ability to change our lives, and we've seen what it's done for us. So if we spend time really truly coming from that place of thinking like, this is what it's done for me, and I have this deep belief that I love it, then we should be excited to share that with other people. And if we come at them like that, with that belief behind it, you're going to love this, and you're not going to have a problem with paying it, because I don't have a problem with paying it. Nobody wants to pay more than they have to, and it's absolutely completely valid. Like it's almost like it's undervalued to me. Like you could tell me that Shakeology is going to cost me $10 a serving, and I'm still going to buy it because it's worth it to me because of what it's done. Come at people with that belief, and you're going to have a lot easier discussions with them. But the minute you think, oh man, I know I'm paying for it, but other people are going to think it's expensive, that's when they're going to think it's expensive, and that's when you're going to get price objections. And it goes the same with all of it. So when you're thinking about it, try to posture yourself in a way that, like allow your true beliefs to come through. Think about what you truly honestly believe about it, and then bring that through when you're talking to somebody, and understand that. And if you come from that, you will not have nearly the objections. Every top coach that I've talked to has all said, and this was huge at the men's retreat, all of them said, dude, I don't know how people get objections about price, for instance. I don't get them. I've never got one, because they're like, I've never thought about it, right? I've never thought that there was going to be an objection to it. It's $130. So what? Like that was their mindset. And they're like, I just don't get them. It's crazy. That's why, because they're not coming across like they're going to have an objection to it. So that was, one of the other things that was huge. And it might seem like it doesn't make a big difference, but truly it makes an enormous difference. So the other day I put a video up talking about, what we learned, some action steps, and There's more than what I am telling you right here. The reason I'm not getting deeper into all the actual specific steps is because it can be overwhelming. Like there's just a lot. And so for the people that said I'm in, that are truly ready to take this to the next step, those people are the ones that I'm going to really break down a lot more. We're going to unpack a bit more information on it. So I need a little something from you guys. Okay. What you have to understand is Deanna and I are definitely taking this to a serious level. We don't see this as an option, right? Like to us, this is going to be, we're going to squeeze every bit of opportunity out of coaching. So we've already got like an action plan heading. We're already moving in that direction anyway. Like I'm watching, our back office, like the business side is what I do, and I'm plugged into that, and it's growing, and I know where we're going, and I know I've got a plan how to get there. So there's no question in my mind of where we're going to be in a couple of years. So the question for me to you guys is, who is going to walk next to us? And here's the thing, guys, you can walk next to us, right? You can walk in front of us. You can walk behind us, but you cannot, like I can't push you guys along. Like I cannot sit back here and, like try to push everybody to do something if they're not wanting to. If they're not wanting to, that is absolutely fine. Like there is no problem with that whatsoever. I'm not trying to say that this is the only option. I'm just saying that if you're really serious about it, then what I need from you is a little bit of commitment, right? I've got a plan. I'll start working with you guys on a one-to-one basis. We'll start doing it weekly. We'll put in the time. But before I get into that, what I need from you guys is that video about your why. Okay. I want anybody that's truly serious, that wants to take this to another level, that seriously sees this as like the option, the opportunity that it is. I want you to throw up a video of not just your why, but I want you to really dig deep. Okay. And not just like I'm doing this because, I want to have time with my kids. I want to know why you're doing it, how you're going to feel when you get there, how it's going to affect your life, like what you're willing to do to get there. I want to know everything. I want there to be a bit of skin in the game on this. Okay. I want it to be a little bit uncomfortable, and I want you to put it on the Team Next Generation page on a video, because that tells me that you're truly ready to step out of your comfort zone a little bit and move forward, because it's not always going to be comfortable, but it will sure as hell be rewarding. Guarantee that. So another thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting a Coach Basics group on Monday. Okay. This group is for everybody. So anybody, any coach that you have, that if you're new and you want to kind of go through another version of training, absolutely plug into this group. I will basically just private message me. I'm going to take basically everybody from our Team Next Generation page and plug them into the group anyway. It will be a separate page. It'll be something you check into every day, and there's going to be work associated with it, but it's a way to get back to the basics for some of us that have been in it doing a little bit longer, or for the new people, for the newer coaches, it's a way for them to plug in to daily vital actions and kind of how to really learn the business. It's very straightforward. It's brand new. Beachbody just released it, so I have access to it, and I'm gonna be running a little group for you guys. So it's gonna be really awesome. It's some really strong content, makes things really simple, very straightforward. So I'll be plugging everybody into that. If you said you're in and you're ready to take the next level, I need to see a video, and I need to see you guys, especially working in that back to basics group, right? That basics group, I need you guys to be like really, really active in it, because, if we're not doing that, what's up?
And you can win prizes.
Yes. Not from us, even he's giving away prizes. So it's pretty big. It's really actually very cool. They're really doing a good job with it. They've completely redone it. Like, it's brand new. I mean, it is brand new with the last couple of days. So one of the goals we'll have that we're going to be focusing on is, and this I believe absolutely, if you said I'm in, this is an absolute. This is a non-negotiable. But for everybody else, I believe everybody on our team, nobody needs to be paying for Shakeology anymore. Nobody. None of you need to be paying for your Shakeology. You all need to be getting that paid for. Like, I want that to be free. That's my goal for you guys is, we didn't get you into it. I don't want you guys to have to pay for it. I want you guys to be able to save that money aside. But realistically, what that means is not only are you not paying for it, you can only not pay for it by helping other people. So that doesn't just tell me that you're no longer having to shell that money out. It tells me that you're actually reaching out and touching the lives of other people. And that's what this is all about. That's what I want for you guys, right? So that Coach Basics is going to really dig deep on how to do that. The people that I'm working with one-on-one, we are really going to dig deep into how to do that. But I believe that everybody needs to be focused on that. Babe, Deanna, what did I miss?
You did great, babe.
I didn't miss anything? Nothing else you want to add in?
No. So, I mean, just a couple of things that I wanted to add real quick. And I was thinking about this while you were talking about your why. And all of a sudden, I totally started getting butterflies in my stomach. Because I want you guys to really think about your why, right? So it's not just, oh, well, I want this or that. It's think about something that makes your stomach get butterflies, that makes your heart beat fast, that makes just tears come to your eyes. Because we did that this weekend, and it was amazing. And I'm sorry, I'm just a big crybaby. But I feel it's important to really dig deep, not just about, oh, I want a car, or I want a pool, or I want some new clothes or whatever, but why are we doing this? And it's like, I just want to share things because we actually all shared, and I feel like if I'm expecting this of you guys, we need to do the work as well. So some of the things that why I coach, right, is I want to have a good marriage with my husband. I want to work on that. That has nothing to do with coach. That's just a priority to me. I work full time, and my kids are getting older, and I was a stay-at-home mom for 6 years. And then, due to circumstances, I got divorced and I was forced to, work full time, and I don't have a lot of time with them. And so my goal is I want to be able to quit my job so I can be with them full time and enjoy the last bit of years. I have goals that I want my dog to be a therapy dog, and I want to go to the hospital, and I want to just make people smile and feel good. And I want to really truly help people, it's my passion. And to see people go from just feeling like they're nothing to loving themselves and who they are, where they're at, is amazing. And those are my whys. And I want you guys to really focus on your why. And it's vulnerable, and it's scary, and it makes you shake, but that's really where that good why comes from. That's going to take you, through those times when it's hard, because it's hard sometimes. I can't tell you how many no's I get, or people ignoring me, and I don't take it personally. At first I did, but then I realized, people have lives and things are going on, and just knowing that, I never give up, and this is a non-negotiable. People are going to continuously say no, but over time they come back and they say yes. It's some people are a year later of me bugging them every few months, just saying, hey, just letting you know, no big deal. They come back and they're like, I'm ready now. And it's an amazing, amazing feeling to be able to touch somebody's life, even if it's in the smallest way. And I love it, guys. And I want you guys to let us know what your why is, because we're here the whole way to help you every step of the way. You guys are our friends first and our teammates second. And so whatever we can do to help you guys get to your goals, we'll do it. We'll do it together. That's it.
Why are you always trying to steal my thunder? Make it all emotional and cry, so I look like a jerk that just, gosh. But, guys, she's dead on. That was, and thank you, babe, for doing that for everybody. Because I think that's extremely important. That's what we're looking for, right? Like, if you don't have emotion behind what you're doing or why you're doing it, that's not your why. That's a reason, right? That's like maybe part of, what's created by your why or whatever, but that's not your why, right? Like, that's just not it. Because if it's not touching an emotional string, then it's not serious enough, and everybody here, everybody in our team, every person that's trying to change their fitness and health, there is, if you really dig, it's that little onion game, right? You peel away those layers and you're going to get to that core reason. And that core why is much deeper. I guarantee it. I don't care what they tell you up front. It might be like, oh, I just want to lose, 10 pounds, or, like for me, I just want to get this or get that or whatever. But I guarantee there's a reason they don't just want to lose 10 pounds. There's a reason they want to lose 10 pounds. That's what we're looking for, right? And that's extremely, extremely valuable. Great job, babe. Yeah, see, there's a why right there, right? Nora's got her why sitting up on the screen right there. That's it. So, babe, was that it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was taking notes. You did really well. I've got so many notes. It's not even funny.
So one of the things, guys, she talked about was, that we talked about earlier as well, was just sticking to it, never giving up and staying consistent, right? Here's one of the things I just forgot then we'll go to just open forum and asking questions. Here's one of the things that I've heard a few different times from a few different coaches at different meetings, whatnot. And I've heard this said a few times. It is the people that are here today, like the top coaches, when they're talking, they're usually on stage, right? The people that are on stage today, the people that are talking to you today, do you know why they're here on stage right now? Why they're successful? And it's kind of like, well, I don't, because they invited a lot. Because they're here. That's the answer, legitimately. Because they're still here. This isn't a business of like, if you're a special kind of person and you do just the right thing, you may become successful. This is a business of, as long as you stay consistent and keep pushing forward and don't give up, you will become successful. Like, it is as simple as that. It's like, that's all there is to it. That's every single coach that's a top coach. It's just because they did not do it. They didn't let the times where it got frustrating, where people, they went through, a month and they just could not get people to follow through and and it just seemed really overwhelming. I don't care. That's right now, I'm moving forward. And those are the people that continually figured out different ways to achieve things. And the next thing you know, they're a top coach. I cannot tell you how many times we've been frustrated. Like, I legitimately can't say. I cannot tell you how many people I've talked to that I spoke, that I've spoken to that were all in, doing it right now, and then never did it. until 4 months later, they come back. It's just like, what? So you just stay consistent and it will become successful. Okay. Follow up, follow through. Questions, guys. What are we struggling with right now? What's going on? Like, fill me in with some questions. How's everybody feeling? Throw a comment. Do you have anybody to brag about? Any coaches out there that, like you want to brag, like Jessica, Panit, like, how are you guys feeling? Lee, you're signing people up. Lee, you're signing people up left and right. Like, it's your job. Well, it is. So you're adding people. Anybody want to just kind of brag about, like, what's going on?
Our challenge group that we just started Monday it's only my third one, of me running a challenge group, but I could totally feel just getting stronger at it. But I mean, what was so awesome is before we even started on Monday, we had people that never have met being like, I love you. And it was just like this huge love fest from the start. And here we are only like a couple days in, but I mean, the energy is amazing. And what's so cool about that is in that group are the few coaches that I've got signed up, and it's awesome. It's just really, really cool. And Natalie and I talked about it again today. Like, if this is all we got from it, like, that is a load. You know what I mean? Like, that is like the money, like, just so much, worth so much more than the riches we're going to be swimming in a couple of years.
So
but
new Love Bank, right? I mean,
yeah. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's amazing. And I think for me personally, it's changing my perception on how to present the coaching opportunity. And even though it's not happened yet, I can tell it's going to impact the way that, I'm able to invite, just being able to be part of that. So I know I got like all crazy the other night. It was like, thank you guys. But it's just like that alone changes the way that I feel like I can invite, people to it. I mean, not only do I really truly believe that we will be successful in it as a business, I feel like beyond that, I mean, it's just been such a wonderful addition to my life. So thank you. That's all I have.
So, guys, I want to hit on something that you said, Jessica, that I mean, that's spot on. Very good point. So I think a lot of times, especially when we're talking about the coaching opportunity, we have a tendency, I know of myself, I have a tendency to think about the financial rewards. And the reason I do that, and that's what I talk to people about. And the reason I do that is because in my mind, I say, well, there's all these things like for myself that I want, right? Like freedom of time, freedom of family, freedom of location, freedom, freedom of being able to do whatever I want, whenever I want. And I know that at the end of the day, regardless of how we all want to span it out, at the end of the day, that stems from a financial ability, right? That comes from finance. That comes from money. Like I'm not saying that, money buys happiness or anything like that, but I am saying that if you want those things, a lot of those things require finance. So therefore, that's kind of what I think of when I think of the coaching opportunity and at its most basic root form, right? But what I think is great is what you just said, Jess, and it's that when we're approaching people, like I am putting that thought on other people. I am assuming because what I am it appeals to me, that's what appeals to everybody. And so when I speak to somebody, there's two ways of looking at it. I either go, okay, I immediately talk about finance, or this person would not be interested in it because that's not, finance is not the option, or is not the goal, or I don't have a story to share that is financially strong enough to get people excited about it. And what she just said is that great point, that doesn't matter because that's not what everybody's looking for. Some people are just looking for the camaraderie. Some people are just looking for
Don't get me wrong. I want the money too. I'm just figuring that it's gonna be an inevitable byproduct of that like pure joy that I'm getting from the experience. Like the money is definitely gonna happen, or I want that part too. I'm not putting that on.
Absolutely, and you're correct. That is a byproduct of everything else.
But
without
it
question.
is going to be a byproduct. Yeah.
If you focus on helping people, that the financial aspect will come. They just go hand in hand. I mean, it is what it is. But I guess the point is, don't let anything limit you about don't assume anything about somebody else's perception of what is important to them, and B, don't let anything limit you in when you're inviting people, how you're inviting people, why you're inviting people, or how you approach it. I got the same thing actually this weekend. I was looking, I'm like, well, whenever I refer to somebody, I refer to our other upline coaches and kind of talk about how much they make and da-da-da. And I didn't even think about the fact that I'm like, you know what? It feels almost unattainable to some people. Some people look at that can be very concerning, where it's like, do you guys realize that the average family in the United States that is on the verge of bankruptcy is $300 away from not being bankrupt? $300 a month is all they need to stay out of bankruptcy legitimately. That's the average in the entire United States. How incredible is that? To think that legitimately, do you know how quickly you can earn $300 a month in Beachbody? Like that is like that fast. You can give somebody just that opportunity to keep themselves out of bankruptcy. And here I'm thinking like, oh, if I don't tell you you can make X amount a month, that you're not going to be interested. How amazing is it just to think that I almost lost my house, but I didn't because I helped 4 people this month or whatever, get healthy and fit. Like, you've got to be kidding me. So keep that in mind when you're like, that's how amazing the community is. It's not just about how do we get you to retire. It's like you can change, how dramatically can you change somebody's life with just $300? Like, that's incredible to me, So that was one of the things that made me think of that when you said that, Jessica. So thank you for that. How's everybody else doing? What else is going on? What am I? Panic, Leah, Nora, how are you guys feeling?
Good.
Good?
I'm good.
You're doing really well. You're doing really, really well. I've been watching. I got my eye on you. I got my eye.
Thank you. I'm definitely looking more as, I don't know, I guess more the health aspect rather than trying to build my coaches right now just because I'm still new.
Absolutely.
But everyone's doing so good. It's so motivating and, a lot of people are asking. So it's good.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. You feel like you're the sharing and everything, the way you're going about sharing is being effective and you're getting good feedback, it sounds like?
Yes, but I do see what you mean, like knowing, a little bit how to turn the positive, because that is the first thing. Everyone wants to know, how much is it, and it's so hard not to just throw that number at them and get them excited before they hear that number. But I think it's been pretty good.
I think one of the things, and it took me a long time because I did the same exact thing. I'm like, oh, you want to know how much it costs? I'm going to tell you because you asked me a question. I'm going to answer it.
Right.
But I learned over time that until you put the value in the product and the program, they won't see the value in the price. So
Right.
even when it's on sale and we're like, oh, it's on sale, you must get it now, limited time only. They don't know. They're just like, we could be selling it for $10, but if they don't know the value and what it's done for us, then it doesn't matter the cost. So, it's definitely something that I've had to learn over time, not to just go, what?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jessica?
Hold on. Oh, there we go. So I boosted a post and I had somebody, that was interested or, said I'm in or whatever. And that was the number one first question, nothing, right out the gate. How much is it? And so I tried to be like, because I want to answer, but I also wanted to try to give a little information. So I did both. And she immediately was like, no, I can't do it right now, but thanks anyway, maybe later. So I said, oh, well, that's okay. We can keep checking in, whatever. I have another group or have the page that, if you feel like being part of that, because I have been finding we are getting some traction that way. But anyway, nothing. So I figure I'm just going to be her friend on Facebook. So she hasn't unfriended me. I'm going to like her stuff and I'm going to comment on her stuff. And I figure, well, I'll have to retry it. But how do you do that when the very first, I don't know this person. So it's not like I can go, well, let me talk to you a little bit about it.
Yeah.
How do you do that,
So what I would recommend is not, I guess, deferring the question.
I don't want to look like I'm dancing around it because I feel like that makes it worse.
Right. So I guess what I would probably do, and I've done this in the past, is when they ask, say, well, let me ask you a couple questions just to see if this program is even right for you, because maybe it's not the right thing for you. And, so tell me a little bit about yourself. So you're not really like saying, I'm not going to answer your question, but it's like, let's see if this is your, your soulmate program or if something else is, and then ask them questions. And then, so what are your goals? And then you can say, oh my gosh, this program is great because of X, Y, and Z that you just mentioned. And, and it's only, and then there's also different, we have a program for every budget. Maybe they don't want to get Shakeology at first. They just want to get the program, and you put the value in the program. So there's lots of different ways that you can kind of dance, I guess, around it without not answering the question, but seeking to understand more of what their goals and their wants are first.
Jessica, are you still there?
She's frozen.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure. Okay, she'll probably log back in. So, Jessica, you'll probably watch this again. So either way, just to kind of touch that out, and for everybody else as well, just to kind of touch on that. Also, another way you could phrase that would be like, somebody says, "Well, how much?" That's a great question. We've got options that kind of fit in anybody's budget. So let me first ask you this, and then get a little information from them. What are their goals? Because like Deanna said, it might be that they don't want Shakeology at first or whatever, and that's totally fine. But we need to learn first. That was the first question. We know nothing about them, so we don't know how much to tell them it is, right? Like they might say, I really struggle with cravings. I really struggle with, portion control. I really struggle with X, Y, and Z. And we're going to say, well, actually for you, this is why Shakeology is going to be extremely important for you. This is how it's helped me. These problems that you're having, I had these same issues, and this is what I found with it, right? And this is going to, the portion control system is going to do this, and da-da-da-da. So for all of this stuff, and then the accountability aspect and all that, it's going to be $140 or $160 or whatever it is, right? And then it might be a scenario where they're like, I'm doing this or this. You always offer that challenge pack because we all know that that's going to get them the most dramatic results, period. That's just what's going to get them the best results. It is what it is. If they come back with, well, I can't afford that, not a problem. If it's too much right now, there's also an option where you can do just the DVDs by themselves, just the workouts, and that'll cost you X, and that's fine too. We can get you plugged into the group and still get you the accountability and still help you along the way. It's you just let me know what works for you. So there are other options that that we can that can use. So I guess the key is you're not dancing around it necessarily. You're just not responding with just a simple it's $140, because the truth of the matter is we don't know the price because we don't know what they want or need. So we don't have a price to give them until we ask questions. Right? Dancing around it to me is like, well, let me tell you first what you get. That's dancing around it. I'm not asking a question. I'm just telling you a bunch of stuff that's in it. And people are like, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Jessica just.
Well, my computer just shut down, so apparently it was out of battery. But anyway, I've never done the phone thing. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to leave right in the middle. Don't worry about it. I'll listen to it later. But I wanted to get back on. So.
Yeah, I just went through a whole other scenario. So
yeah, don't worry about it. I'll read it. Yeah, I'll listen to it later. But
so anybody else have any questions? How's everybody else feeling? Miss Nora, how are you feeling? How's everything going for you?
I want to be in this, and I want to change my life with my big why and everything. It's just really hard to know how the next couple weeks will go. Sorry.
Yeah.
Because my dad has pancreatic cancer. So, and I just don't know. We don't even know which cancer center he's going to be at yet. So where we're going to drive to come this weekend. But I do want to start making, even the professional development and watching those videos you told me about a couple weeks ago that I haven't taken the time to do yet. So I'm going to commit to starting to wake up earlier and work on that. But so I do want to, keep up on that. I just don't want to feel like I'm holding you guys back on helping me and everything, to get better or to move up in the coaching aspect. So yeah, that's all.
Don't ever think that, Nora.
Yeah.
No, you need to take care of you and your family first. Your family comes first and is
Absolutely.
a priority. So don't ever feel like you're somehow holding us back or not making us proud, because you need to take care of you. This is what this is all about, And I can't imagine what you're going through now, and you have my thoughts and my prayers with you the whole way, and we're here. We're all here for you. If you need us for anything, just even if it's just an ear to listen, So you take care of you, girl.
So much.
Got it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
We'll be here. We'll be here whenever you're ready. Whatever you want to do, we're here. So don't stress.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's why we refer. We're picky about who we bring into this whole thing. Like, we don't just go out and try to talk whoever into coaching. We really kind of we try to find certain people because we realize the importance of just like having high morals, you know what I mean, and being good people. And that's extremely important. We don't want to put ourselves around people that aren't like that, So that's why we refer to this as a family. Like legitimately, our coaching team that's why I introduce people as welcome them to our family, and that's important to us. And we take that very seriously. And with that, it's a huge support group. You know what I mean? Like we run these challenge groups as support groups. We also run our team pages as support groups. You know what I mean? Like we're all here to support each other and being the best version of ourselves we possibly can be in that, whatever realm that means,
Mm-hmm.
So don't ever hesitate to reach out to anybody here or us, because that's what we're here to do. That's what makes this amazing, right? That's what part of the fun is with this, is meeting all these awesome people and having all this strong support of people, of like-minded individuals, right? So you're never going to hold us back. We're going to meet you wherever you're at, and we're going to help you whenever we can.
And I very much appreciated, you're answering the questions about Shakeology, and, if you, I know you don't know, but, getting your feedback on if you think it would be good for a cancer diet and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, absolutely. That's what we're here for. We, of course, I know if I asked you those questions, you would do the same, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're all in this together. So definitely never hesitate to reach out. We got your back. Yeah. Up top. High fives up tops. High fives up tops. Yeah.
I just have to say one thing about that. I have a client who her 13-year-old son has been battling cancer for the last 5 years. And I've watched them through it. He's actually had to have his leg removed, but he's an amazing kid, and she's very into health and nutrition. And I was talking to her about Shakeology, and she uses it for him. So really good stuff.
Absolutely. Have you, Nora, have you had a chance to look at that video, watch that documentary I sent you over?
No, I'm sorry. I worked until the evening.
Oh, yeah. Don't apologize. Check it out. I mean, it's very interesting. It's amazing. Okay. It is absolutely amazing. Guys, I think it's called do you remember what it was called, Nora? It's not A Beautiful Life. It's let me look what it was. It's
the Beautiful Truth.
The Beautiful Truth.
Oops, sorry.
Yes, guys, if you have not had, everybody that's watching this, if you have not had a chance to watch the documentary, The Beautiful Truth, it is amazing. It is all about nutrition. It is all about how incredible nutrition can be to solve so many diseases. It is deep. I mean, it is really deep. And it's no, guys, take a watch on that for a second and then talk to people about Shakeology, because when you watch that, you'll understand exactly why I answered that question that you sent me, Nora, the way I did. You'll understand exactly, because you'll be like, oh, okay, makes perfect sense. Okay, everybody. If nobody else has any questions, I feel like I'm just wasting all your time, all you guys' time. I'm sitting here just rambling along, and I don't want to keep you guys from your families. So does anybody else have any other questions?
Do you have any questions?
No, Vanessa?
No, we're doing good.
I guess my only thing is, and I messaged you guys a little bit about it, but we're running our first challenge group on our own right now, and I feel like we have a couple people that are doing all the posts, and we're posting, and there's a couple people that they're posting, but I feel like everyone else is just like, they don't exist at all.
Boy, I'm putting a whoop on them.
John, did you want to say something?
So yeah, we kind of talked about it a little bit in private messages the other day. We've had that too. Like my very first ever challenge group where I had no idea what I was doing. Amazing group. The second one, I'm like, I kind of got this. Nothing. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? What's going on? And it just happens that way. But like I said, just keep posting as if everybody's watching, because they are. Just because there's some people that honestly, like, you got to figure, I think in our challenge group that I have going on right now between all the coaches, there's like 60, 70 people. Out of that group, there's probably only about 15, 20 people who post. So you figure that's, you know, not a very high percentage, but they just kind of make a statement. Yeah, just keep going. They're watching. You know, I always think, you know, incentives. It could be really inexpensive incentives. Maybe if I have a gift card with, you know, maybe Starbucks or something for, you know, whoever posts the most in a week, or you know, something like that to kind of maybe drum up some excitement, you know, or do like little challenges, like who could. I think, Janet, you did it on our little 7-day group, you know, who can plank in the goofiest spot, which I think Justin won with a dog on his back. I don't know. But, yeah, I mean, just realize that it's not you. It's sometimes just groups do that, and it's back to school, and it's really your time. And so, yeah. Just keep
I tell her the world's watching. You know, whether she thinks it, whether she sees it, people are watching. You know,
they are. They really,
I send out messages to people and I get no response. Then all of a sudden, out of the blues, I get a message saying, "What are you guys doing? What's up your sleep? Like you guys are all over the place." So they're watching, whether they respond or whether they click on the video or they like anything, they're watching. So, you know, like Justin and Dylan said, just keep plugging at it because the world's watching.
Like, for instance, Nora was in one of my info groups, and I think I plugged her in. I didn't leave her. She didn't like, join our group the first time. I just kept keeping her in there, and I kept telling the story over and over again. And I think she finally got sick of me, and she's like, "Fine, I'll join one of the groups."
Yeah.
No, it was like 4 months or something, and I kept telling her, "I'm so sorry, I didn't get to look at it this round." And finally, I did, and I was like, "Okay, I'm ready."
Yeah.
You never know.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? This weekend at the leadership retreat, they actually had everybody at the very end. They were like kind of going through introductions and stuff like that. You know, oddly enough, introductions at the end, but they had introductions at the end. And they actually said, "Okay, everybody here that said yes the first time, right, to like coaching, whatever, stand up." And what was it, maybe nobody? Like 2 people out of 40 stood up. Everybody else sat down. Nobody said yes the first time, right? Like everybody was like, nah, you know, like nobody did. That goes the same with challengers. That goes the same with like people when they're in the group. You're going to have so many times where you'll have groups where they're just like, nobody posts a thing. Nobody seems into it. That's why it's so important that on the back end, like behind the scenes and private messages, you're reaching out to people every, you know, like a couple times a week, because they might not feel comfortable for whatever reason, or just like myself, I'd never as a poster. I'm still working on it today. We've been coaching for a year, right? Like, and I'm still horrible about posting my team on my page, right? So it's not, some people just don't post, but they watch. I'm part of a lot of groups that I watch everything that goes on in that group. I never say anything in it. You know what I mean? Like a few Team Beach Party, you know, pages. There's a wealth of information I never post to them. Or I'll post it like once and that was it, you know? So don't stress it. One thing that I don't know if you guys are doing this or not. I haven't seen inside of the group, but I don't know if you guys are doing, I assume you're doing a lot of videos. Are you guys doing video posts? Because that's kind of what you guys are doing, which I freaking love. That's awesome. Continue to do that. Just show people your personality. You know, through videos, you show your personality. Through posts, they just read it. They attach their own voice inflection to it, and it changes everything, right? So show your personality, go through, and whether they're posting or not, you're still touching them. And they're seeing it. They're getting emotion from that. You know what I mean? So just keep plugging away. Don't stress it. And, you know, and then next group, what you'll do is you'll add the following one. You'll add the ones that want to do another round to that next group. And those are the ones that most likely are doing a lot of posting, and some other ones. And after a few groups, you're going to have like a bunch of people that are just active posters, and you've got a ton of traction. And that's what's happening with us. The more groups we run, the more posters that we get involved into those groups.
Yeah.
On top of that, all the new coaches that are actually building other teams of coaches, the coaching idea is going to basically go like, and Deanna and I are going to start basically doing this. You guys start coaching. You take your first group of challengers, you put them in our challenge group. We coach it. You coach it with us. Okay? Next group after that, you have your own group. You coach it. We coach it with you as backup. Your following group, you coach all on your own because you know how to do it now, right? The following group, you coach, and one of your coaches that wants to work the business, you have them coach. You're coaching it with them. And then it moves forward from there. And that's kind of how this is going to progress, right? Yeah. So, like you guys are in that position right now. A lot of you are already doing your own, your own groups. That's awesome. That's basically how it's, it's going to work. So you're going to be running multiple groups. You just, attach people into them. It's going to run one. You'll be like, oh, I get it. I mean, after the first challenge group running it with us, you're like, I see how it goes. I mean, they're pretty basic. We're nothing special. We just put videos up and keep people motivated. Like that's as simple as that. So don't stress if they're not posting. They will post in the future, guaranteed, and they're still watching.
Justin, you guys say you're nothing special, but I love your videos and you're amazing.
Thank you, Nora. We love doing it, but we're not doing anything that somebody else can do. All righty. Everybody else good? Any other questions? Any other statements? Just tell me to shut up.
I make a quick statement. So anytime you guys have any questions, no matter if they seem silly, no matter if you feel like you've asked them before, no matter what, just ask us. If you feel like you're not getting traction or you're like, I feel like I'm saying all the right things, but I'm just not getting any success, take a screenshot of your conversations with people, send them to us, and we can kind of say, oh, well, maybe we can tweak a little something. And the other thing that I'm going to throw out real quick is we all have a story, right? We all have a story, and my story is different than Nora's story, it's different than Panet's story, and so on. But we all have a really valuable story. So sharing your story in little bits and pieces on your personal page is really going to resonate with somebody. They're going to say, oh my gosh, I had that same exact struggle, or oh my gosh, I had that same exact upbringing, or I struggle with that, or my kids are the exact same way. Letting people have just little snippets into your life, not always good. Sometimes it's like, hey, my kids are driving me crazy right now because look at them. They're all like, hey, look at me. They're waiting. They're like stalking me until I'm off. But I love them, but they drive me nuts sometimes. So, I mean, people can relate to that, right? I mean, I hope I'm not the only one that kids drive me nuts sometimes. No? Okay, good. So, people are like, oh my gosh, I go through the same exact thing, or so we all have an awesome story that we can share. So just share little pieces of you, we're so much more than just beach body coaches. So I don't want you guys going, I'm a beach body coach, check me out, look at me, sprinkle that going, I killed my workout today, here's a sweaty selfie, oh my gosh, my kids and my dog are all sleeping next to me, and oh my gosh, I'm drinking my Shakeology, and today was an awesome day at work. Just share everything about your life, and people are going to want to follow you because you're relatable. So that's my other little nugget.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay, everybody, we will let you guys go and get on the rest of your life with much more important and cooler things than dealing with us. Just a quick recap. Everybody that said they were in or that is in and that wants to really like push forward and go with us, definitely you need to put that video, throw that video on Team Next Generation page. Okay, I'll see that. As soon as I see that, I will get a time together with you guys to jump on a phone call, and we will hash out everything we need to do, put a plan together so that you guys can move forward. Okay, that's my goal. I know how to do it. That's what I'm here to do. So let's get you guys dialed in. Okay, everybody. Everyone else, have a great night. I really appreciate your guys' time again. Thank you so much, and we will see everyone in a couple weeks. Bye, everybody. See you guys later.